G'day fellas and welcome to a casted game. We're here on the brand new expansion for Age of Empires 4. This is the Sultan's Ascent. Spawning in on the east side of the map in the color yellow, playing as the Japanese with a nice little gargoyle right there. It's Beastie. And on the west side of the map, playing as the Mongols in the color red. Representing Izzy Esports, we've got Marine Lord. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. We've got some sort of tournament game once again, but I'm not sure where it's from. So if you know where it's from, please let me know down in the comments so I can provide a little bit of credit over to whoever it is. But we got an exciting game though. Marine Lord, Beastie, two of the best in the business right now, are going to be going head to head on a brand new map, Himiyama. One new civilization, one old civilization. Looking forward to seeing how the Japanese are going to be stacking up against the Mongols here. Previously, the Mongols weren't considered to be one of the top-level civilizations in the most recent patch, or not the most recent patch, I shouldn't say, but the patch before the expansion. They weren't particularly, they weren't overwhelming in their strength. You know, actually, no, they were pretty good. Never mind. I'm like slowly thinking through. I'm like, the Rus were definitely up there. The Malians were definitely up there. And then who else? We had the Mongols. It's been a while though. It's been a while since I've had to think about that. But we've already got some early fishing coming out here from Marine Lord. Now, for me, the big question is whether we see Dark Age aggression in the form of a barracks coming out for Marine Lord, because one of the things that we've seen recently from Japanese players has been going onto the Dark Age stone. Beastie's not going to be looking for that here. And I think this is a smart move, because if he did go for something like that, not only does it force him to play a certain type of way, so going into the 2 TCs guaranteed, but on top of that, there's no guarantee that he's going to be able to get all the stone that he needs to age up in the first place. So it's one of those things you've got to be very careful of when you're playing against the Mongols. You do have to provide them quite a bit of respect early on in the game here. But at this stage, everything is going to plan for Beastie. What's interesting is that he has picked up his Tawara, the unique Japanese wheelbarrow upgrade. You can see he's already got the villagers out here on berries, and I think this is quite interesting because you're kind of left with a decision as a Japanese player. Do I go for Tawara early on and look to maximize my efficiency on berries here in the Dark Age, and then allow my sheep to remain under the town center, and then that way, whenever the Mongols comes knocking, I've already taken most of the food off this, and then that way I'm allowed to stay under my town center for a little bit longer. The alternative is that you wait to get to feudal age, and then not only do you research Tawara, but you also research Takazaiku, which is going to give you access to that second level and a total of 50% bonus for berries. That's a pretty decent amount. So that's another way that you could look at it. But Beastie at the moment definitely going to play a bit more conservative with the early villagers out here on the berries. But Cura Storehouse going to be coming in. Nicely positioned here. He's got enough space between the town center for these farms to drop in. It's important to note that they do fill in from the 9 o'clock position. So this one's going to be safely underneath the TC. However, on top of that, he's also going to be able to utilize this as a drop-off point for wood. So this is a very nice positioning. A little bit too far from the stone outcropping, but we do see Marine Lord now beginning to make moves around the backside. Let's check in and see how he's doing, though, as it looks like he's managed to cop a couple of shots here on that enemy scout from Beastie. And it's just going to be a Dark Age play. Nothing too crazy here. Now, is trade going to be an element today? It definitely could be. Not the trading posts aren't positioned particularly well, but I mean, realistically, you could probably still put your Mongol there. There we go, and it is going to be the Silver Tree. So I guess he's got two options. Number one is actually he could go down to the south as well. Depends how you feel. This one is probably a fair bit better to go to, trading down to here and then maybe moving your Silver Tree up towards this top side. That could be another option for you, but he could just look to place it on the Uvu and then get the double traders out and then make his way up towards that top side. But we'll check in with him and see how he does, though. Outpost now going to be coming up in the middle of the map. No real surprise here. Going to be looking to neutralize 1, 2 fishing spots, maybe even that third fishing spot. But Marine Lord's done the right thing and left this safe one at the back, so he'll be able to fall on that in the event that he does lose out on this fishing spot over towards the top side. He's only got 144 left on it, and I suspect it might be the case of only being able to... this could be a villager that goes down right here. I think it might be 6 health, 4 health. Oh gosh, the Mongol Khan does a lot of damage. I thought it was only 1 damage that it did in the Dark Age, but it looks like it does 2 damage now. So that's going to be a dead villager early on for Beastie. A little bit disappointing for him this early on. I know he would definitely be feeling it. Now that Mongol Khan has gotten to the next stage, he's got the opportunity to throw up this attack speed arrow which could definitely boost that DPS, but I don't think he's going to make it anyway. Scout coming in looking to try and defend here. Silvertree indeed being repositioned on the Uvu. Looks like he might be going towards that top side instead. Outpost in the middle of the map will come up. He had the option to go for the extra attack speed. It could have made the difference right there. Outpost does get up. He's got the arrow slits on the way through. I'm not sure whether it's going to be enough to get that extra little bit of range, but even then, you know, it's comical in that it's just such perfect timing here from Marine Lord. 3 fishing boats out in the middle. Of course, playing the Mongols, he has to pay the full rate for them, but he's going to be able to store them inside the outpost if he runs into any issues. And we can see now Beastie going to be fortifying this outpost as well, which is very interesting. Right as they run out, Beastie now comes online with the arrow slits, but you can see he's not going to be able to hit the fishing boat. So very well played there by Marine Lord. Definitely opening correctly. Now Beastie going to be thinking about moving into a second town center by the looks of it. We see plenty of stones starting to get stacked up. 6 minutes into the game, he's looking in that direction. We've seen the fortification coming through on the outpost, and the first of the Keshiks is on the way out here as well. Let's check in with those traders, though. It looks like the traders are moving 2 by 2. Hurrah, hurrah. What do we got? At 19 gold, not too bad to start you off with. Remember, it's obviously a shorter trade route as well, so you're going to be getting that 19 gold more often, but ideally you'd like to see a whole bunch of these traders trained and then the Silvertree moving on. That's exactly what he's going to look to do here. So surprising that he only opts for the 3 sets. I think he probably could have gone up to a 4th set there as well. He's got 180, 160 stone in the bank, but now going to be looking to move that Silvertree down towards the edge of the map so he can get the most efficient trades in. You can see right here, the trade is going up. This is actually quite funny. I've never seen this before. It's calculating on the fly, so you can actually see how many resources are going to be coming in depending on where you put down your Silvertree. This is pretty cool, isn't it? But it looks like it's going to be 42 gold, 43 gold, 45, not bad, 44. So not a bad amount. Keshik number 1 is out. Double racks, triple racks here for Beastie. Jeez Louise. You know, when it comes to this civilization, that's one of the things that I've noticed with them. I don't know if you guys have felt this as well, but this civilization absolutely goes ham when it comes to barracks production. Like, I feel like it's 9 minutes into the game and I'm supporting 5 racks as easily. And I'm like, what is going on with my economy? But Beastie not even going into that second TC. Have a look at that. He's only taken enough off just to get the Daimyo Mana upgrade. He's now picked up the Bannerman as well, which means that he's going to be able to buff up all these melee units in the vicinity. Beautifully timed right there. Villagers not even taking a single hit. Wonderfully microed there from Beastie. Marine Lord coming up empty-handed. All right, well, speaking of empty-handed, let's check in with Marine Lord and gosh, see how he's doing. Already, these traders are starting to look a little bit fierce, and this is something you've got to be particularly careful about. You can see the numbers are going to start building here. He's on 6 traders at the moment. Archer's going to be looking to join the battle, and he could be sticking it in the feudal age for quite some time here. I think he would be pretty happy with it. One thing to note is he's got 7 villagers on gold still, and that's a pretty significant amount. So expect to see upgrades coming through, like the wheelbarrow that we see now, but expect to see a couple more upgrades, probably in the way of... Is that another barracks? Beastie going for a 4th barracks right here. This base is looking a little bit like an Age of Empires 2 base. I don't know. Do you guys get that feel as well? The way he's kind of building everything around the edge, but I guess that's largely because of the Daimyo Mana. He wants to make sure that he's got space for farms in around the town center, so he puts everything towards the outskirts. So it definitely does make sense. But it does look... It looks like he's kind of walling on the outside there. For anybody wondering, these walls are not effective. Units can move through them. That's one of the things the devs specifically wanted to avoid happening. Let's go with happening there. They wanted to avoid happening, that units would be able to not pass through this, because then it makes the game a lot more defensive. Not that AoE4 is overly defensive, but look at this, Onabig Geisha coming through. They might actually have a really good matchup into the Mongols, just because of the trade. So think about it from this perspective. The Ottomans Malians, really, really fast. Don't do a whole bunch of damage, but they attack quickly. And because of that, I reckon a couple of these bad boys in the trade line could be disastrous for any Mongol mains out there. So keep that in mind. Let's see if Beastie's going to be able to exploit that today and whether he looks to get more Ottomans Malians out. Indeed, it's going to be the case. More Ottomans Malians coming out. Beastie continuing that farm transition. We see another villager heading out over onto the farms. He's got that level 1 Daimyo Mana at the moment. Only the 25%, but hey, that's still pretty damn good, 25%. Combine that with the wheelbarrow upgrade. Remember, he's already picked up that level 2 wheelbarrow upgrade. And you're talking about some serious money that is coming in right now for Beastie. We're 10 minutes into this game. Let's flip it over to income, get an idea of where these players currently sit on the income scale. Marine Lord over on that west side. Numbers are starting to build here. You can see he's up to 27 military population. The trade's going strong though, I will say that much. Now the Khan just poking and prodding, looking to find a way through. Outpost sits very strong, very happy in the middle of the map here. Not doing much realistically. Just kind of sits here and just says, these fish, these are not your fish. These are my fish. And now he's looking for it. I think Beastie might be thinking about dropping a wall potentially on a trading post. It definitely makes a lot of sense. You want to try and minimize the amount of options your enemy's got here. Iron Undermesh comes through. And now, all of the infantry going to be moving forward here. Just as I say that, it looks like he's going to back out. You can see the archer numbers are pretty decent here for Marine Lord. It looks like he's actually going to be pushing forward here and saying, you know what? You want to do it? Let's do it. Let's dance it up, baby. The numbers are looking really solid from him. And now the Onabagation going to get caught with their pants down. He's going to have to turn around. The spears brace. But the Onabagation now beginning to move forward and doing a decent job. Looks like we're going to have attack, no, movement speed. It's going to come through. And look how fast those archers are. Just teeing off towards the back. Beastie getting eaten alive here. A distinct lack of samurai is going to mean that he's not out micro, but it just means there's no real damage soakers in here. The numbers are looking pretty decent, but at the end of the day, the Keshiks are going to survive here. Beastie rallying in more and more units. I tell you what, it definitely makes sense to have that third unit in here, the samurai in the composition. It just helps out so much in tanking up all of these shots, but now the Keshiks about to clean up the remnants of this army, and Marine Lord taking a strong early position in this game up against Beastie, one of his greatest rivals in Age of Empires 4. All right, let's check in with the Beast. See how he's doing back towards the main base. Still only the 4 barracks for the moment. Not thinking about aging up, that's for sure. Hasn't looked to add in a second town center either. He's just going to be focused heavily on macro. And now we start to see that. There it is. The samurai is out on the field. And this is going to make a lot of sense because if you take a look at the archers, they do a total of 5+1, so 6 damage. Your samurai, on the other hand, let's see if we can get him out. There you go. 3 ranged armor with +1, so 4, which means that these guys take only 2 damage from archers. I mean, 60 shots from an archer is going to kill your samurai. And when you think about that, you know, the fact that Marine Lord at the moment on the battlefield, he's got 27 archers, that's not even enough to 2-shot a samurai. And that's really where the value is that you're getting, because Marine Lord in those fights, he's not specifically targeting down units, he's attack moving. And that value that you're going to get from the samurai is that it's going to be a damage sponge for you. All of the archers are just going to be looking to the closest unit, and they'll be focusing that down, and it's going to be a hardened samurai, and they've got that deflective armor together with the armor of, you know, the ranged armor, and they'll be having an absolute field day. My fear is that Beastie may have committed a little bit too early in that first fight without having those samurai to back him up. But now, going to be moving in, looking to clean out the battering ram here. At the same time, towards the south side, the Onabagati coming in and cleaning up. This is exactly what we want to see right here. As long as they continue focusing down the traders. That's the important part. They need to focus those traders down. But it looks like Keshik's probably going to be heading back there. Indeed, they are. The Keshiks are on the way. And Beastie, unfortunately, going to be losing out the Bagatia. But now, slowly those numbers begin to build for him. But look at the archer ball that's coming through from Marine Lord. How do you deal with this when you're in the feudal age up against this kind of force here? And he's throwing away a lot of military right here just to kill the ram. And the ram makes sense, but at the end of the day, it's one of those things where it's a ram is so easy to replace, whereas units, you're going to have to build more production if you want to build more units. Let's see exactly how Beastie goes about this. At the moment, you know, I'm looking at his base and I'm thinking, how come he's not adding in more production? And then I realize it's because he's not on 2TC. I'm so used to playing a 2TC style with the Japanese that by this stage, your economy is just so far superior to the 1TC. And I think he probably could have opted for a 1TC here. Realistically, his opponent wasn't particularly aggressive. He looked to take the pond early. We didn't see any Dark Age pressure. He did opt to go for the Daimyo Manor, but he probably could have just saved that stone and instead gone for that second TC a little bit earlier. But I think the decision's going to be to go for it now, though, which is definitely the right call. The question's going to be about how much he looks to commit here, because heading out towards this trade line, it's only a matter of time until the trade starts to kick in, and I'm starting to feel like it already might be. Infantry numbers starting to look good. You can see the samurai towards the top side are going to start chasing down those archers, doing a wonderful job just kiting away, and you can see how tanky they are, slowly but steadily. Looks like we're going to have an attack speed bonus thrown in here from the Mongol Khan. But the numbers are just looking way too strong. Onabagati doing a decent job up towards that north side. Look at them just cleaning up all of the traders. And now the Keshiks getting very good value here. Fighting up against these heavily armored units. Going to be doing plenty of damage. The samurai continue fighting it out. We hear more Honor Bageisha behind Honor Bageisha. I gotta commit to Honor Bagati or Honor Bageisha. But at this point in time, I tell you what, Marine Lord, he's looking strong. He's looking very, very solid. Beastie's doing a really decent job of dealing with the trade. But at the same time, I think Marine Lord's doing a wonderful job of just making sure that the trade stays alive. It's not... He's only on the 10 traders, and that's the thing, but how did... Beastie's got 9 worker kills. How is Beastie so far behind on the worker count, though? That's... Is Marine Lord... No, he's not. I was thinking, does he have an Uvu in his base, and is he training with the town center? Like, how is he so far ahead? Because there's only 11 traders on the field right now, so you'd think he'd only be 11 ahead. Beastie hasn't lost a lot of units either out of it, so I don't know what's been going on back home. Why is Beastie so far behind from Marine Lord on that villager count? Is it counting something else's economic units? Like Gers or something, maybe? I got no idea. Let's quickly check here. He's got 39 villagers on food. Jeez Louise. Has he gone for a second TC? And I'm blind. There's no second TC. I don't know where his economy is coming from right now. Beastie now adding in a 5th barracks, looking to try and defend this position. Having a tough time here. I'm starting to feel like we might be casting another Beastie loss the longer this goes on. Kurultai coming in now as well for Marine Lord. This could seal the deal here. As long as he falls back, waits for his veterancy, waits for his +2 ranged attack, and then takes the fight, I think it should be a pretty clear-cut case from this point, just because he's going to have plenty of additional attack on each of these units. But let's check in with him, though. See how he's doing over on this west side. You can see Beastie slowly but steadily working the numbers in. Silver Tree. Is it just that he's got... oh, that's why. Okay, it's all traders, but the traders aren't actually working. So he's just got the traders chilling out. That's why the number is so high. So even though it says 4 traders, it's not actually the case. If we take a look, Marine Lord's got 17 traders. That's where the difference is coming from. Looks like a little Keshik raid on the backside going to be going not very well. Didn't kill a villager, unfortunately. But that base from Beastie, still going strong. Still trying to make it work. I think Beastie could be having a tilt towards Castle Age. He's got 12 villagers on gold at the moment, and a whole bunch building an outpost. I think this could be a Castle Age. He may sense that Marine Lord is looking for a bit of a timing. Comes around the backside on a Bagatti, looking to try and find a way through. There's the age up from Marine Lord. Let's see how Beastie reacts. Numbers starting to build. Beastie immediately heading out over to the enemy side of the map. A couple of spearmen here with him. Fishing boats. I love that they've gotten back to work straight away as soon as that outpost went down. Now up towards the north side, Beastie going to try and pick a fight here before those upgrades came through. We talked about it previously, the fact that you want to get these upgrades in ASAP. You want to avoid fighting where you can. And that's exactly what Marine Lord's looking to do. You can see him as he continues to kite away, just does not want this fight at all. Honor Bageisha coming in from that north side. Beastie now trying his best. The Bannerman going to drop the flag out, but the numbers aren't looking decent at all for Beastie on the defense here. It says the military numbers are solid. He's got 23 samurai on the field, but I just don't see... Oh, they're down here. Oh, he's pushing more in from the south. He could be looking to try and snipe this Silver Tree out. Towards that top side, though, the archer number continues, and the floating gate now coming through for Beastie over on the east side of the map, going for that perfect little Japanese 1 base. And I gotta say, I love the Japanese. This is definitely the way to play it, going for these heavy amounts of farms early on in the game. It just feels so good going for it. Look, he's upgraded the Daimyo Manor to the Daimyo Palace as well, which means he's got that 50% gathering bonus on all of the farms. The issue that he's going to have, though, are these archers. He needs to get to Castle Age, he needs to drop a siege workshop, and he needs to get a mangonel out yesterday. The problem is he's got absolutely no wood in the bank. This is going to be tough if he wants to pull this off. Let's see exactly how he looks to play it. He's actually throwing down another barracks. That's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 barracks now for Beastie on the defense here. He's really playing the infantry-only challenge. Let's see whether he switches his playstyle as he reaches into the Castle Age. Floating gate now online. Where does he look to put the first of the Yoroshiros? He's got it right next to a forge, so this could definitely be a way that he goes, and we see upgrades coming through. Veterancy for the Honor Bageisha, veterancy for the Samurai, and it looks like the town center is going to be the choice that he opts for. Indeed, it was the town center. Training villagers slightly faster from 20 seconds down to 16 seconds. And second one looks like it's going to come down. Oh, it goes into the forge. Okay, so it's out of the question at the moment to throw that into a siege workshop. But Keshik numbers are building. You can see the difference right now in the military numbers. This is not looking good for Beastie. He needs I mean, at this stage, what do you even need? How do you even play from this position? I think you just go mass samurai, and then you just upgrade them all the way. You need +2 armors in, +2 attacks in, get your bannermen out, and just hope that you're able to try and defend. You could, maybe, could you go into the daimyo, into the shogunate castle? Maybe that could work, but you're up against so many units here, and it is only single target. That's another thing to remember. It's single target, it's not AoE, so it looks really menacing. Could you kill a Keshik with it, though? I think you can actually kill the Keshik with it. Maybe that's the play in this position. But you just kind of extend your death, right? Like, at this point, he's done a good job of extending out the game, but it definitely feels like Marine Lord's in control with it when it comes to the numbers here. Have a look at the difference between them. Kurotai now coming down on the front line. Battering Ram making its way in here. Kurotai going to move up, change its spot once again. And the first of the barracks going to come down here. Beastie looking to push out. Only 23 military to his name. Trying his best to hold on with the Japanese. But it does look like it might be a beastie loss in the end. As long as the numbers stay strong for Marine Lord. Keep in mind, he's got a huge map. Oh my gosh, look at the size of that army. It's huge. 58 archers on the field at the moment. And now we try and see the old versus the new. Which one's it going to be as the samurai dive in towards the archer mass, slowly but steadily whacking away. Bannerman on the front gets immediately eviscerated. Archers look like they're doing some decent damage here. You can see that the samurai aren't having the best matchup. What armor do they have? They've got 6 armor up against the 11 attack. Oh, because they get the bonus damage from the Kurotai. Oh, it's actually insane how much that counters the samurai right there because their armor is ignored. Oh, that's a very smart move there by Marine Lord. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, that is going to be it. I'll leave links in the description to where you can catch both of these guys live over on Twitch. And of course, we'll catch you guys in the next one. Thank you so much for watching.